Alright, good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday, June 18th, 2024, here at PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. And we're going to go through the markets, and I'm going to do my homework. It's really what we do here. Feel free to check out our website, PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. Check our, look around, see what all's there. We probably need to really update the content there, but I'm really more into trading and the day-to-day, which is really what I share here. So let's go. These are our automated trading systems. This is the updated Dow futures, and today we had one or maybe two trades. One trade. Yeah, one negative trade. So, yeah, no big deal. Is what it is. Gave a little bit back after some nice pops here lately. All right, the Russell, which is not ready for prime time yet, but you can see we've had a series of stop outs, which is just fine. Um, the Nasdaq actually pulled back a little bit today as well. No, actually it was up just a little bit. So it's all good, and actually the best those trading systems have looked ever. So pretty excited about that. Now let's move to our manual trading systems, and we'll start here looking at the S&P 500. Now I want you to look here at how clean this really is when we look at it. So we've got on balance volume down here, which gives us a volume signal. You want the volume to be the on balance volume to be trending up. And if you really care, go in and look at the math behind the on balance volume. You can Google it. You can see the actual math in the code here, which I went ahead and made my own indicator with the moving average on it. But they actually have on balance volume as its own indicator in Thinkorswim, which you can go see exactly what the math is. So I think I showed it even on here the other night. But the bottom line is, when the price is all coming down here like this, and the candles are all red, and then they reverse, and then we get this close back above the orange line here, we get that's not actually what makes the candle turn green. Now, when the candle turns green and it closes above the orange line, that's like a double whammy for a good signal. Same thing as when the candle turns red and closes underneath the orange line. Those are two different things going on, two different systems, because this is the simple 30 system, the red and green candles, and the 21 is really just a 21 period moving average that just happens to hold the price most of the time. So the reason I'm even trading against the 21 is because if you get a close below the 21, and I explained this the other night, then on the first bar I want it to be, and I throw in my stop, which is that lime colored right there, and if it does it the second day as well, then I'm going to actually move my stop to the bottom of that candle, so that the next time it breaches it, I just get out, and that's going to make my stops a lot tighter than they have been in the past, which is similar to what I showed you on how we've built the automated trading systems going forward. So this happened here. We got one candle that turned red, but it didn't close below the 21. A second candle that turned red, and it did close below the 21. So we wait one more day, and we got a third candle, which goes ahead, and I can pull my stop up to the bottom of that, and I would. And I'm not in this position, but if I was trading it, and then you see this next day, it didn't come down and take out the stop, so it just continued higher. And that's the point of using 2 days. So that, and it's just cleanly moving higher along with the 21 period moving average. So you could get something like this again. I'm not expecting that this time around. In fact, well, it might be a bad example, but here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 light blue bars in a row on the momentum indicator. And then it started to kind of fall apart. And we got dark blue bars and momentum went down. But it stayed positive, or generally, and went right back up again. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bars, the light blue bars into that up signal again for the momentum. Now, you can't go back here. You can, and you can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bars, I think, in that first rise. Which, by the way, check this out. When it's falling like this, this momentum on balance volume indicator is mostly red. When it's rising, it's mostly green. So hopefully that gives you some idea that we can tie volume along with price and kind of get what the trend is. And that's really what this is all about. I'm not saying this thing's going to be over, but because we're so many bars into light blue here. But what I am saying is you might be into something like this where you start getting some chop around, but we're going to watch it to stay above the 21, which is the orange line. So yeah, there you go. That's the S&P 500. It went up today 13 points, or 0.25%. The Dow went up today 56 points, or 0.15%, and it's starting to show up again with green bars, and we're back up above the orange line. By the way, I've also got 2 bars to the upside after it's short for the same signal the other direction. So if we break higher on this thing, it's just a much better chance that you're going to go like this. There's no guarantee this stuff will work, because you can get into some choppy situations like back here, though. Alright, so that's the Dow. The Russell today, I'm going to put up the IWM. Went up 0.17%, and it's very choppy. This is what the futures look like as soon as it flips back over. They're looking better. They're starting to be green again. So I really need to throw on, let's look at IWM again. I want to be really aware of what's going on with IWM. Okay. The NASDAQ just continues to rip higher, although it's basically a little sideways from yesterday's close. Went up 5 points, or 0.03% today. The Dow transports, I'm going to use IYT, are still down. And that's it for the overall big markets. Oil, it's breaking out higher, and it's not giving me any chance to get back in. I've got a couple things in for if I would get a break below, but man, it just might run without me again. And even though I've been tracking it off of this this wedge to the downside for a bit now, you know what, I'm going to put it really closer, and I'm going to put one up here just to have signals there in case so I can, get some warnings like in the moment and possibly do something about it. And gold is still pretty. I mean, it's red. We do have some up momentum going on, but not quite yet. On balance, volume is up, but it looks like it's dwindling to me. I'm going to go ahead and draw in a trend line from the top of this bar. I do this a little different than other people do, and I know that, and I'm okay with it. I'm really all I'm connecting is the top of this open candle to the top of that open candle, and I'm ignoring the closed candles, the lower bars. And that creates this trend line, which also just happens to connect to the top of today's open candle, and I'm going to make that create alert withdrawing cross above. And that way, if that thing jumps there, I think we're going to be breaching the orange line again. We have a positive trend, and I will at least take note. But right now, I think it's just a little long in the tooth. So something might be worth looking at is the weekly. All right, that's just something I'm gonna keep an eye on. TLT for bonds. It'd be counter trend if I went. So I'll keep an eye on that one as well. Coinbase and Bitcoin are kind of irritating me today. And then I was going to show you this. I've got some scans built so that I can see potential new trades. And there's a lot here. And I can narrow those down to things, but here is AME, which has basically a lot of volume going on with the light blue dots. The on balance volume's going in the right direction. We got a close above. We got a new green bar today and a close above the orange line. So we got a lot going on, potential in this chart, and we will just have to see how it plays. I also noticed diamonds is there. I'm really tight on my dog, by the way. Dog is the inverse of diamonds. And I got a tight stop. In fact, that's worth looking at. So we're counter trend with all the red going on here. So my stop is this tight here. Technically speaking, I wouldn't be setting a real stop until we got two closes below the orange line here. But just because I know we're counter trend, I am a little tighter than But part of this was just to have on because I did have a new signal to the upside, and in case the market was going to poop itself, I was just decided to put that on because it is a valid signal. But that's not the one I really was paying attention to. I saw something down here that caught my eye. It's too bad. What's AXS? Axis Capital, whatever that is. That's an interesting looking chart. That's a little too far. I'm going to go ahead and throw in an alert here like that for a little bit of a pullback. CBRE is, well, it doesn't have enough good volume yet. But, well, hopefully you get the idea how I can go through and take a look at some stocks. JP Morgan's up. It doesn't quite have everything together yet, but it sure does have an awful lot. So I am going to put an alert above and an alert below. And keep an eye on that one. And oh boy, I am not seeing the one I was looking for, and I can't even think of what it was now. Goldman Sachs is interesting there. Always one of the best stocks on the planet, at least from my vantage point. Then another thing you can do. Oh, there it is. Royal Caribbean is an interesting one to me because it's been in an uptrend recently, but it came from, during the pandemic and everything, it came from such a terrible position. And now it's, back to being a $150 stock, $160 stock. So this isn't a place I'm interested in getting in. I would have been interested back here when it started to cross back up again. So, Visa looks good too. Yeah, Visa's actually, if it was green all this time, now it went into some choppy volume. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure that's going to be a great place to get in, but it's also worth taking note. Just because it's always such a good stock. It's everybody's got Visa. Anyway, that's some of that, and then keep an eye on the, put this back to the yes. The VIX is in this low zone, very sideways, and you put all the markets together and we can see their trends as well. And I'm taking note here that in 66% of the time in June, the markets in general go up by 1.73% on average in the last 10 years. And 100% of the time, an average of 3.6%, 3.69. This math is done for me because I put the algorithm together to figure that out. And and it's pretty reliable. It's not probably 100% like most things, but it does just take the last 10 years and add them together and give you that math. So that's what I got for that. Let's go to stockcharts.com and get the heck out of here. Bullish. Industrials didn't move. NYA up 0.48%. Transports didn't move. Nasdaq up 0.09%. The S&P 500 up 0.35%. The S&P 100 didn't move. And the Nasdaq 100 didn't move. An awful lot of nothing today. So, yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it, and I'll keep coming back and showing you more until I don't. Take care till next time.